there.
Uh,
We're going to just dive in and get started.
cool, cool.
Everybody's got a busy life, and I want to set the stage for this call. John, thank you so much for taking the time to be here, and not only for the time that you spend with us here, but what you do every single day in the real estate industry. There's a lot of people who have said you need to be the lighthouse. You
Yeah.
need to be out in the world and providing guidance and leadership and inspiration and giving away your tactics and helping people. And what I've experienced in the year that I've known you is you have done that relentlessly every single day. And it has been such an honor and a pleasure to know you, John. I came to your first event in my first event was at your Cheplak Live in Lake Tahoe. And then I
Yes.
went to Las Vegas in December, and then I went to Nashville in March. I'm a groupie. I
Yeah, so cool.
became your coaching student. And the purpose of today's call is
Mhm.
really to talk to all the loan officers and real estate agents on the phone, on the Zoom, and how this is a great opportunity in our market. You coach some of the biggest agents and team leaders and CEOs in the real estate space. You're in their databases, you're in their CRMs, you're in their team meetings, you're understanding what's working and what the real challenges are. Like, you're in it to the point of nobody else being in it. I know you coach over 80 students one-on-one every single week. And I'm really fortunate to be one of those students. I wanted to bring you to the table because your light is what we all need. Number one. Number two, you have agreed, I've hired you to be the keynote speaker of my event in November, which is called the Path to Wealth event. It's a retreat here in Reno, Nevada, November 12th through 14th. And I will put a link in the chat so you guys can already see the agenda, what that looks like. But I won't take up another minute. John, thank you for being on this call, and take it away.
Awesome. Well, I just hit the wrong share here. So, it's like my first time doing this. I shared the wrong thing. I think I want to share this right here. First of all, thank you so much, Shayla. And I'll go back to what Shayla shared. And what I want to do today is I want to walk right alongside you, but I want to walk right alongside each and every one of you and share with you behind the curtain what's happening real time. Real time. My day today started at 4:55 a.m. This is my 22nd coaching call for the day. So I am warmed up and I have real-time information. The one thing I want to reference, though, what's really great about each and every one of you being here is that, and I want you to write these three things down. And you see my first slide here. We are a crazy time in history where people are uncertain, stressed, paralyzed. Even if they have no money, they do nothing. And smart people look for opportunities. You're right here. You're doing something and you're looking for opportunities. And here's the thing that I need you guys to really, really think about is this, is like, we don't get paid unless someone has something they need solved. And the bigger the problems they have, and the more problems you solve, the more success you have, which allows you to do not even what we're here for. We're not here to do more loans. We're not here to sell more houses. What we're here to do is experience ourselves in our personal lives at the highest level. And so I want to honor each and every one of you for being here. I know why you're here. You're here with someone like Shayla, who's a leader who personally does 70 million with her own team and leads another group that does 100 million a year. And then she's got 50 coaching clients and she does events constantly from a space of contribution. And by the way, here's what I know is that people, places, and things are everything. And I want you to start looking at that. When you look at this crazy time in history, and you've made that choice right now, your time's really, really valuable. It's something you can't get back. And my objective today is to give you value, to either go, you know what, heard that, need to hear it again, or you know what, heard that, I'm right on target, or you know what, I needed to hear that, I need my butt kicked. But the most important thing that I want to give to you guys is hope, right? And the hope, though, isn't an action plan, right? You've got to take action. Like the training, the time that you spend with Shayla, the time that you spend with me, the time that you spend with anyone coming at events, listen, that's not the training. The ultimate choice in training is when you go out and take action. And I'm going to tell you right now, through all my coaching calls today and yesterday, I think about 46 deep so far this week, with CEOs of organizations that have 90,000 agents. I don't want to exaggerate. CEO of an organization has 20,000 agents. Top loan officers, top team leaders. And here's what you guys also need to know too is ready. Stop complicating things. Stop complicating things. See, everyone wants to do the things they shouldn't be doing because they want to avoid the thing they need to do because it's not fun, it's not cool, it's not sexy. Here's what I need you guys to know. You're in the most opportune time in history. Do you know how many people are still sitting in denial? They're in COVID hangover. They're in COVID hangover. They think they deserve business the way that it used to come to them. They think they shouldn't have to do the things that are required in this marketplace. And so that's perfect. I don't wish this on anyone. I don't wish people to get out of the business. I don't wish people to have their income drop. But the reality is it's happening. And that's why it's an opportune time for the committed. Okay. See, I want to take you through like we've got the NAR thing and we've got interest rate things and we've got election things. And listen, guess what? Last month was the highest number percentage of pending sales that fell out of escrow last month. The highest number. Oh my gosh, what does that mean? People are scared. People are nervous. They're surveying people. We don't know where it's going to go. But here's the thing. Ready? You guys, you got to let go of the distractions. Let me take you into the good old real estate business. And some of you will read this stuff and you'll go, I didn't even know what an MLS book was. This is how long I'm not smart. I've just hung around for 36 years doing the same thing over and over again. And on a side note, I was talking to one of my clients today and he says, I talked to your son. My son has a fitness and nutrition business. And certainly this person's growing. They have a really, really big business. And they asked him, okay, what was your dad doing 10 years ago when he was building the business? Guess what my son said? The exact same thing he does today. I lived with him. I stayed with him. The exact same thing. Stop trying to be a one-trick pony. Stop trying to think about some new innovation or distraction. Look at this. Look at our industry. And since I've been in it, they took our MLS book away. Oh my God, we don't have an MLS book. And then they put the listings on the internet. Oh my God, it's going to put us out of business. Technology was going to eliminate us. Corporate relocation and referral companies were going to put us out of the business. Mortgage companies are going to capture and control all the leads. Oh my God, they're going to put real estate agents out of the business. Texting would make it so no one would ever answer the phone. And I'm going to talk to you about the telephone and texting today. Statistical data. Texting restrictions showed up and huge fines started to be handed out. They started fining people 10,000, 20. I have a client that got freaking fined 40 grand for texting. Oh my gosh, all these obstacles, do not call lists, lawsuits, can spam laws. Google changed the algorithm. If you're not an AI, you guys love this one. And you're all hearing this one. If you aren't an AI guru, you're going to get baked on the barbecue. Like, here's the deal. Like, show up and freaking execute. You know, I'd ask you this as a real estate agent. I would ask you this as a loan officer. If you went out today and knocked 100 doors and called 100 people today, would you outproduce 99% of people? 100%. But you want to know what we want to do? We want to do something that's more complicated, and we want to do something that costs more money. See, what we want to do is we want to throw financial resource at things. And listen, you should invest in your business. But you want to know the issue is, and this is where you'll win, it is the people, it is the highest performers on the planet. And I can show you time and time and time again. I know the conversations today, it's the people that are not going to even pay attention to all the BS. See, you know what's beautiful about all these? I don't have to worry about competition. These take care of my competition because they're caught up in it. I've got one thing that I got to do. What's in front of me? See, here's the deal. The outcome isn't the thing you're building. It's not the sales volume. It's not the loans. It's the person you are is the thing you're building, and that continues to work, period. Now, am I the same person I was 10 years ago? Absolutely not. But am I doing the same things today better than 10 years ago? Absolutely, I am. Now, here's the thing, and I'll say this with love. The problem with some of you is you're doing 30 different things than what you did 30 days ago to avoid the thing that really works. See, the work works on you more than you work on it. It's about who you become while doing the work more than the outcome from the work itself. You know, I share this. See, here's the deal. Some of you have self-doubt. It's okay. It's normal. Okay. I have mine every day. I love my self-doubt. You want to know why? Because it makes me be better. The minute that I don't have self-doubt, the minute that I don't question myself will be the minute that, oh my gosh, I think my ego's creeped in. But here's what I want to say to you too. Some of you will have imposter syndrome. I have all these excuses. No, you don't. You lack a mission, you lack a vision, you lack a mission, vision, values, and principles. But I keep it simple: mission, values, and principles. Vision is that thing, okay, what am I going to be stated in the present tense? But like mission, why are you doing this? And it's got to be not about money. It's got to be something that impacts the greater good. And I'm going to take you guys through this. Some of you heard it before, but you need to hear it. I've heard it. You know what I love? Here's the best part. Oh, it's Cheplak mindset. Oh, it's Cheplak. I've heard mission, values, principle. Awesome. Come up on screen. Show me your mission, values, and principles, you dude. And you didn't do it. You didn't do it. Oh, it's mindset. Well, then why are you whining and not consistent? Like you've read the books. You know, here's the interesting thing. Everyone reads books, but no one executes. Okay. And that's a generalization. Let me tell you something. The man or the woman on a mission is unstoppable. Serve, lead, and listen, I could stop at this screen right here. If you get this and you take action, because here's the other choice you have. When you leave here, maybe over the Labor Day weekend, you go, okay, maybe I do have my mission, my values, and my principles up on a wall, and I don't even understand these big college words that I wrote up there, but they look really, really cool. Okay, maybe I really need to dumb this thing down, or maybe I actually need to do something. What is my mission? Serve, lead, inspire people that want to have a positive life experience as a result of the real estate business. Now, do you think that runs through my veins? Absolutely. See, these are my non-negotiables. Values, the experience I want people to have. See, like you wake up, I don't care what the economy is. I don't care who the president's going to be or not going to be, because I'm going to wake up and do the same damn thing. I mean, period. What I'm obsessed is the values, the experience I want people to have with me. Fun, love, dignity, respect, humility, vulnerability, transparency, volunteerism. See, are those yours? Can you recite those? Are they just embedded in you so that you just pop up and show up and you do the thing you got to do? And principles are the final thing. Principles are the law. Personal responsibility. I will tell you this right now. If you don't own every single outcome that you have, you're dead. You're just dead in the water, right? You're going to be a bumper car in life. You're going to be a bumper car in business. Okay, interest rates are high. People are waiting for interest rates. Oh, now deals are falling out. Last time I checked, did someone close a loan today? And did someone buy a home and sell a home today? And did someone list a home today? And someone sign a buyer agreement? Awesome. I'm going to go out and get them. Here's the bottom line. Who's not going to get them is the person that is absolutely relentlessly focused on their mission, values, and principles. What are yours? Here's the gig. Business is 80% mindset and 20% tactics. You've got it in reverse. You've got it in reverse. Executing is really, really simple. Executing on what the plan is, what the process is really, really simple. You know, I'm going to share something very interesting to you. You know, the best training class that was ever done is that $20 free social media class they've been doing at the Board of Realtors for 15 years. That how to do a video course that they do at the Board of Realtors for free for 15 years that you never executed on, but you did it once and it doesn't work. You know, but the very, very interesting thing is the people that do the basics, okay, are the ones that are winning right now, big time. I can tell you right now, it's not some circus show with horseshoes flying through the air and freaking unicorns that, oh my God, what's the magic thing they're doing? I can tell you right now, you know what the most productive people are right now? Boring. The most productive people are boring, they're predictable, and write this down, they've mastered the mundane. My wife says this, and Shayla's heard it a million times, and I think Carrie has too. She just looks at me straight up and says, "You just wake up and chew rocks every day, don't you?" I said, "I do. I love it. It's great. You just do that thing." You want to know why? Because I'm really clear on my mission. I'm really clear on my values, clear on my principles. See, change is here to keep you. Change in the election. Who knows what it's going to be, what it's not going to be. The world problems that are out there. I'm not minimizing them whatsoever. I mean, okay, great. See, here's the problem with the news. If you watch the news, you're overinformed. Okay. And if you don't watch the news, you're underinformed. I think the important thing is just to be aware. But the thing to be aware of is, am I going to show up and execute on a daily basis on what? Write this down, because you should be able to answer this. What my daily minimum standard of activities that I must do, specific, measurable, and actionable, to earn the income I want, to have the life I want to live. Could you do that? Could I pull you up on screen right now and you could tell me I have to do, see, watch this. I could end the Zoom again right now too. What is if you don't know, I'm sorry, I can't help you, right? That was COVID life. Hey, let's go out to the money tree and pick some money off the tree. Like today, listen, my minimum standard daily activity that I must do to earn the income I want, to live the life I want. It's like really that simple. And you want to know what's even simpler is, did you do it or did you not? Yeah, for 6 days. Well, this isn't a 6-day job. This is a career. This is a body of work. See? I mean, you wonder why this business, it's so emotional. The business isn't emotional. Your activities are emotional. And so your outcomes are emotional, and you're a wreck. And that's why we all drink so much. Heck, I drank so much, I'm sober. Anyways, the bottom line is every day it's doing the minimum standard of activities. The pros are going to adapt. I'm going to promise you right now, stamina is the differentiator. Here's what I want to say to you. Stop quitting on yourself. I'm going to give you what my magic 10 are. And what's really beautiful about these is these are universal. I get to work with some people outside of our industry. I'll work with people in mortgage, work in title, different businesses. And these are universal. Okay. See, the bottom line is, number one, you got to know what your audience needs better than they do. Do you? Do you know what they need better than they do? Number two, see, because here's the mistake salespeople make. And I'm not telling you to abandon your scripts and your dialogues and your objection handlers. Those are training wheels for rookies. But the sophisticated loan officer, the sophisticated agent understands human behavior and studies human behavior and meets their audience where they're at. They echo the words back that their audience uses. They enter the conversation going on in their head. Okay, that's that next level. And here's the beauty of it. That person that has that sophisticated understanding of human behavior and constantly evolving their emotional intelligence, their emotional maturity, they're winning and winning big. Know this, that everyone that you are, that is in your audience, they come for what they want. You must be willing to give them what they need. They come for what they want. You must be willing to give them what they need. Make daily deposits. This is everything right here. Make daily deposits in the business relationship equity account and never let it be overdrawn. No one is telling you no. Here's what they're saying to you. You're going to an ATM machine to your audience and you're trying to pull money out of a bank account, their time, their attention. See, attention is currency and consistency is currency. Attention and consistency are currency. Okay. And so what you're doing though is you're going to this ATM machine and you want to get their time, but you've made no deposits in the business relationship equity account. You haven't built your authority score. Well, how do you build your authority score? You haven't lowered their guard. See, the bottom line is your ads or your sales pitch or your language patterns, those things, they don't work. Well, those don't work. You want to know they don't work? Because you've not educated and informed first. You're not operating your business from a place of contribution. See, what we're so worried about is cause and effect, cause and effect. People say good guys and good gals finish last. No, that's bullshit. Good guys and good gals finish last because they quit too early. They quit too early. Okay. No one believes what they're told. This is basic sales. And now more than ever, listen, let me tell you something right now, and I'll take you inside some stories for you to know. About 60 days ago, because I'm inside these CRMs and I get to see, and we've got some of the CRMs, they've got 1.3 million leads in them. I have 80 VA ISAs that are inside 80 team databases. So we document the amount of calls, emails, text messages. Some databases have 1.3 million in them. Some have 50,000 in them. So we were able to track and see the activity and then what would generate a sale. It was 35 2-minute conversations a week, new conversations. and a 4-to-1 text to call ratio and a 2-to-1 email to call ratio. Those were the numbers. So people had some great months, but then all of a sudden people in July were like, oh my gosh, we tanked, we did terrible. And then there were a couple that just continued on this trajectory. Well, here's what they did is they looked at the market and saw, and they looked at the database and saw, and they looked at their appointments and saw, and they looked at their pending escrows and saw that they were dipping based on the same activity. Well, voila. I guess we must up our activity. So just so y'all know right now, if an agent isn't having 52-minute conversations a week, that's 10 a day. Like we're asking people to work part-time. 10 2-minute conversations, okay? Good luck. And it may go up higher. I don't know. But I can tell you that's where it's at. Here's the piece that I need you guys to really think about. Math is the path. So let's go back to what I said. Do you know what your minimum daily standard of activities are on a daily basis? Number 2, are you tracking them in a CRM? Number 3, here's the big kicker I didn't talk to you about. Right now, it's got to be personal connection first. Transactional, you've got to lead with relationship and then transaction second. We've known this, we've been told this, we've heard this, but right now, what's a consumer need? Reassurance, educate, inform. And you know what you need to do? You need to just talk to them like a human being. Heart chooses, mind justifies. Stop. I mean, we know this, but why do we lead with logic? To keep what I have, I must constantly be willing to give it away. Like if you're in a bad place in your business right now, good. Go find someone else that has it worse and help them. It's proven. Then you'll believe in yourself. If you're doing really, really, really good and you want to keep doing really, really good, you do have time for people that are struggling, people that are willing to take the action steps, because the only way to keep what I have is to give it away. Here's the other piece too. This comes back into it. And this is an age-old rule in copywriting and marketing. The best ad doesn't look like an ad. Everyone wants to buy or find something better. No one wants to be sold. Here's the next piece, 95-5 marketing rule, which is really the blue ocean, red ocean. See, these are the things, like a lot of this has to do with selling. Everyone wants to sell, sell, sell. We got fooled that you could sell, sell, sell. Well, let me tell you something. When people need to be reassured, running your sales rap at them, have fun. Here's where your greatest opportunity is in any market, any type of avatar consumer, whether it's someone doing a mortgage, someone that's buying a car, someone that's going to buy a house. Only 5% of the population is in the consideration phase. And so what does that mean? Where a conversation about taking action in the business you do is relevant, 95% are indifferent. But you want to know what's happening? Is we're saying the right things to the wrong people, the wrong things to the right people. Take a look at your messaging. Take a look at your messaging. See, everyone's in the red ocean trying to get that now person. You know what the highest performers are doing? They were educating and informing and connecting with that 95% that were further out. Let me tell you right now, I have a gentleman that is up, and we all know 2021 was the money tree year, okay? He right now is up 35% year to date in a market that has a 40% increase in inventory, and sales are down 17%, and he's up. Okay. Guess what he's doing? They're obsessed and focused on leads that are 3 years old or older. People that have sat on the sidelines long enough and watched, or people that are ready to move again. Very interesting. Let me give you one other piece, just some statistical data inside of this too. See, this is to help you with mindset. I mean, I would guarantee, and listen, if I'm wrong, throw it in the chat. 99% of you do not send an email out once a week that you wrote, and measure the open rate and study the subject line. Oh, because email doesn't work. Email sucks. No, you suck. You suck. You don't know how to write a subject line that hooks people, okay? That creates curiosity, right? You don't know the deliverability. You guys, like, email is everything. Just another, inside behind the curtain, so you're all are aware. Right now, I have 2 organizations, one in a 1.1 million average sale price on the West Coast, and I have another one in a 400,000 average sale price. Okay. One of them spends $1 million a month just on leads. Okay. So these are big databases. Each of them were doing 1 email a week. They increased written emails. Write the email. Like, listen, most of you've got automated emails that are going out to your database that were written in 1974 by a dinosaur, and you don't even know what they say. No wonder your email sucks. We moved both of these organizations on both coasts to sending an email once a week. Guess what? Oh, appointments increased 40%. Like this thing isn't complicated. Done is better than perfect. My crappy anything is always going to outperform your absent nothing. Okay. Let me share with you. I have multiple millions. I have a few videos out there that have hit multiple millions in views over time. And one moment, let me introduce you to my video production company. Like, stop goofing around. Like, video works. They told you that at the $7 MLS Board of Realtors class 37 years ago. But I need Botox and my hair's really thin and the lighting really sucks. That's okay. I guess the things that you want, that you promised for your significant other, the things you promised for your family, you don't have a mission. It's not important. No problem. But stop complaining. Like, you see, what you need to do. Okay. And here's number 10. We talked about this earlier. Shine the light the brightest on the talented people around you. If you're a leader, shine the light on those people. Acknowledge people. If you're an agent or you're just an individual, and not just, you get what I'm saying, an individual loan officer, who are the people around you who you can constantly acknowledge? People want to be around people, and people are magnetized to people that uplift others. Here's the basics. You know what's interesting? If I were to ask you this, what do? I'm a loan officer. I'm a real estate agent. So what? I want you to answer all four of these questions. And when you answer them, then I want you to say to yourself, so what? What problem do you solve? Who do you do it for? Carry out the action. These three, because when you know these three, then you can write copy across social media. You can write email. You can write appropriate text messages. You guys, every choice people make is based on the words they hear and the words that they read. Like Dan Martell is a brilliant guy, author. He's got $100 million company. He coaches $100 million folks. He spoke right after me. I guess I was his warm-up band. And I say this with absolute respect, at an event for entrepreneurs 6 weeks ago. I said, what's the number one linchpin in business right now? He said, copywriting is everything. Copywriting. Copywriting is the words you say. But here's the thing. Like, can you clearly articulate, John, this is so basic? Well, I don't know. I'm coaching one-on-one. See, here's the thing I want you to look at is, then why are people like Shayla, who does 100 million, 700 million, coaches other people, runs these events? Why do people like a CEO of a company of 90,000 agents? See, here's what I want you to get. It's not me. These are just simple principles to bring people back to simplicity, because simple solves the complex, and they're willing to do it while we keep shooting past the target. It's simple stuff. Build a brand, who you are, what you do, what you stand for. What do people think of immediately when they think of you and your company or business? Every one of you. What's your brand say about you? What does it say about you? Because you want to know who's winning right now too? The people who execute and the people who've built a brand. Contribute without expectation. Contribute without expectation. Do nothing that takes the energy and focus off of the business, off the path of growth. Nothing. People, places, and things. Well, then I want to have a life. Okay, fine. Be broke, right? That's cool. Don't complain about your money. I'm not saying you've got to be a stiff and not have a life. I live a full life. I want you to live a full life. But you want to know what you need to do? You need to execute. You need to have boundaries, and you need to know what you need to execute on every day. And you need to be in environments like what Shayla has, of people that perform at a high level, that are going to ready. Here's the best thing about being around someone like Shayla, being in a coaching environment with Shayla, coming to Shayla's events. Implied accountability. She ain't got to say nothing. You take one look at someone who operates like she does, and you don't want to walk in the room. And I know you want to walk in the room, but guess what? You want to walk in the room proud. And that's why you guys are here, right? Who are you surrounding yourself with? It's everything. Okay. Purpose is more important than the plan. White belt mentality, always being coached and open to feedback, constantly survey your audience. Okay. You've got to fall. And here's a big differentiator right now. People are frustrated. Oh, they're moving slow, or they're shopping my rates, or now they're negotiating on the NAR things. And I can't believe it. And they're disrespecting me because they just think now that they read the press and they shouldn't even have to pay me. Listen, here's the deal. You're so in love with your results that you can't even freaking deal with them. Fall more in love with your audience first. Act like you're serving your mom. That's how they feel you're authentic. Authenticity wins. You've heard it. but you got to live it. Fall in love with their results. Fall more in love with the product or service. If you fall in love with the results of your customer, your client, your avatar, you are forced to fall in love with your product or service. And you are the product or service, period. And if you do all this, then you should feel bad not selling people. It's really that simple. Okay. Change and challenge shows up to call forward to become who you're meant to be. Here's what I think right now. If you're challenged right now, you're frustrated. No, you're not. You just hit a ceiling. You just did. Things aren't going your way. You just hit a ceiling. And you've been here before. You've been here. Some of you have personal situations. Almost everyone. We've all had a series of misadventures in life. And I want you, here's what I want you to think about when you leave here, when you're looking at your business, is I want you to not think about your business. I want you to think about the most challenging, painful thing you've had to go through in your life that you're most proud of that you got through. And you know what you need to do? Like they give you this BS guidance. You know, the windshield's bigger than the rear view mirror for a reason. Yeah, because you need to freaking laser beam in to that freaking rear view mirror. And that's where you get the borrowed belief of what you've gone through. That's where the lessons are. You've been in worse situations than you are right now. You've overcome stuff that like today is a freaking cakewalk, but you've got to draw upon it. The only reason the space you're in is scary or challenging is because you have not continually educated yourself, made massive deposits in the business relationship equity account, and lack a mission. Demonstrate staying power. Consistency builds equity. Consistency is currency. And you're going to get paid in direct proportion to the amount of value and goodwill you give the market. Number of problems you solve and how big the problems are that you solve, and in turn, build a brand. That's it. That's all. There ain't nothing more. Know what you need to do on a daily basis. What is the minimum daily activity you need to do? If you find that that daily activity isn't working, getting the result that you want, it's one of two things. You need either do more activity or you need to work on your skills. This thing isn't complicated. But to do that, what you've got to do is be willing to be held accountable, keep showing up, and surround yourself with great, great people. I can't wait to see you all in November. And I went over my time. And I have a problem with doing that sometimes, but oh well. I love doing this stuff. So,
well, you just demonstrated what it is to fall in love with the results of your clients. Yeah. And you've got, John, you have so many little one-liners that are truth bombs that I know live in our hearts and our heads. And guys, if you wrote down some of those truth bombs, put them in the chat. What were the things that stood out for you? Also, please note that I put the website for the tickets to the November 12th through 14th event in the chat. We only have space for 200 people. John, you're going to be with us on the 13th. You're going to speak and also hang around as we do networking and a happy hour after the event. What I love about
party time with my protein shake.
Yeah, me too, baby.
I've got to go to another call. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you all for spending your time with me. I hope it's really valuable to you. Go out and take action. We'll see you in Reno, Tahoe in November. Peace.
Right on. Thank you, John.
Bye.
Before we get off the call, I've got something else exciting to announce. And she just came on screen, Miss Carrie Scholl. Both Carrie and I have been around the coaching industry for a really long time. In fact, Carrie and I met at the core training about 10 years ago. Carrie was the #1 real estate agent in the program at the time. And so much so that I think you got fired from the core, Carrie, because you were such an innovative thinker and you were growing a team back when that was not allowed, and you were using technology and you were generating leads. And I just, from the first moment I met you, was like, wow, this is a woman on fire in business. This is a woman who thinks big, who has big vision, who's courageous. And not only that, but your strategic coaching and the way you can help break things down tactically is unlike anybody else. I made an introduction to you to Dave Savage. Many of us are big mortgage coach fans, and you spoke at the Modern Mortgage Summit. And Dave has since interviewed you a couple times. So you're becoming quite famous to us as loan officers in the world here. So we reunited everybody at Cheplak's event last September. And it was like, oh my gosh, I see you. You're a powerhouse. We both shared our love for leading people. And Carrie, I just love to hear what your takeaway was from the call. And then I'd love to invite everybody to a follow-up call where you're going to teach tactics so we can tell them what that is before they jump off. But what did you get out of the last half hour with Chep?
I mean, I was like frantically taking notes, and at one point I have this like favorited: change and challenge shows up to call you forward to become who you're meant to be. I was like starting to get emotional because the thing about how he talks, sometimes he says things, and I know I've talked to him about it before, but when even the minimum daily standard, what's your minimum daily standard? It seems so simple, but sometimes being in an environment where you're with people who take these ideas and cement, wait a minute, I need to refocus my team's energy, the people that I care about, and I'm obsessed with having them be successful. I need to take that principle and like hammer in on it. So I have a page of notes, and I think it's just anybody who's watching this who hasn't been to a live event with him before, he brings the heat.
He brings the heat. And if you went ahead and looked at the agenda, so Carrie, you're going to be doing another training call for us. It's a free Zoom. So if you can't make it to the event, I definitely want you to come with Carrie. But really quickly, I want to share this retreat agenda with you guys because this is really unique. I love curating top producers, people that I think are really relevant in the now. And I'm also really motivated by creating and architecting an experience to take people through. Because it's one thing to get the shot in the face with Cheplak like we just had. It's another then to hear Carrie go, okay, this is what I heard Chep say, and this is exactly tactically how I'm implementing it every day. Here's what my calendar looks like. Here's the calls that I make. Here's how I stay out of distraction or out of procrastination. Here's what I say when I make those calls. Because it's one thing to say, you need to do 50 calls a week. It's another thing to go who, what, when, where, why, how, how have you gotten to the place where not only you're doing it, but it's working and you have the results. And so I brought these speakers together, you guys, because I believe in this philosophy of see it, believe it, do it. And for me and my success, it's always been first, I have to see somebody else who has what I want to then do what they do to get what they've got. And when you look at this group here, I mean, Kobe Socher, let's talk about Kobe. He is like 32 years old, you guys. He's worth $5 million already. He started at 18 years old in real estate. He's coached by the best coaches, but he's really focused on building a wealth plan. His wealth plan is to be worth $300 million. And he's so lovable and likable. And he's going to talk about how to become your own best investor. You talk about Amanda Ray. She's been one of my top producers. She started as my assistant. So if you love growing people, Amanda started at $15 an hour. She's now been with me for 12 years. She's crossed over 80 million, $100 million worth of volume, runs her own team. And she is just diligent about doing the basics, the boring stuff more than anybody else I know, and has grown her net worth substantially. She's going to tell that story and how that works. Carrie, you're a speaker on the docket, and I want to give people a little two-part Carrie. And so I'll officially introduce you here as you kind of talk about what you're going to do. But, Carrie, you lead a team of over 75 agents. You've been like the dominant powerhouse agent on the East Coast, let alone the DC metro area. You have so many stories of resilience, of recreation, of rebuilding, of rethinking. And you're not afraid to get in the weeds and do it and make the calls. And it's just really inspiring the way you teach. Gosh, our good friend Andy Zeman just started 75 Hard after the last retreat. He's had amazing results. But Andy Zeman takes 10 weeks of vacation per year, is a dedicated father, and closed 21 loans last month. He uses automation. He uses sequences. He's really brilliant. Paula Nerschel is a former basketball coach, runs Elevate Coaching at Gill Mortgage, literally crushes it in business and has these massive jobs. And she does it all through using her CRM and using processes that keep her out of stress and overwhelm. It's just unbelievable to me what she does. Dino is a professional coach to both realtors and lenders. Allison Larson's pregnant again, 33 years old and on track to close $60 million of the business, has also recruited and grown her team by about 8 loan officers in the last 6 months. Denise Donahue needs no introduction, the mortgage nerd, continually crushes volume in whatever market. She is strategic. She is a marketer. She's process driven. Alyssa, I'm skipping ahead now. Alyssa McDermott is 34 years old and has probably been involved with about 5,000 flips. She's worked for the biggest conglomerates like Wedgwood. Now she's got her own business in flipping. She analyzes deals every day. She's also in manufactured homes as a dealer. And I think she's got a really cool, unique ninja way of looking at deals. Mr. Todd Bookspan, Win by Noon, is an productivity genius. In fact, I couldn't get a hold of him yesterday because it was on a time block for deep work. One of the most dialed in, well-balanced individuals. Jason Jacobs is a Chairman's Club winner, and he's just got a meeting that works and converts. Jorge has worked with me for now 15 years. He is now the VP of Elevate Coaching, and he's grown his volume from 6 loans a month to 50 loans a month. And Lauren Taylor, she grew her personal following on Instagram to 100,000 in 4 months. She is an organic lead generating genius. I think I covered everybody, but I could say so much more about the top producers and leaders that are going to be speaking, and that they're relevant and they're real and they're raw and they're just in the trenches doing what we do. So, Carrie, what do you think are the key things you're training your agents right now post NAR that you're going to bring to the table on this call September 11th? I'm going to put the registration in the chat to be with you, Carrie. What are the things that you want to teach everybody before Reno?
So a lot of my belief on the mundane, right? The details of how you execute and upgrading your process gives you the confidence to be unstoppable, right? And when you have that and you know how to identify where the gaps are and what to do to fix them, I think it makes a big difference. So I'm going to go really deep in tactically how to handle appointments. And then something I've actually never taught before that I realized was a gap when I was in the trenches, in the weeds within my organization, is how I've always structured my follow-up. So I'm hearing a lot of agents who are in this place where it's creating insecurity because their clients are ghosting them. And we were used to COVID, right? Where somebody wanted to move and then they saw virtual houses and they bought them. And for some of us that have been around a little longer, in the olden days pre that, it was still a really competitive environment, right? And now buyers are hesitating. And so I think we need to upgrade our follow-up skills. And when people say that, what does that mean? Well, for me, I realized, wow, all the way back, I started in 2008 and I developed processes to be able to scale really quickly. And I went from 21 sales to 365 in under 5 years. So when I look at how I approached it, a lot of it was just the details of how I approached each part of the process. So when we get together on September 11th, I'm going to go deep into how to handle the first appointment. So follow-up is easy and providing value is easy and being really unique and having a special relationship with your client where they feel like they can count on you. So then when you're ready to write the offer, you're writing winning offers. That's what I'm going to talk about.
That's so needed. And this is why I asked you to be another speaker of us to demonstrate the kind of caliber of speakers at our retreat and just to provide value. Thank you to all of my loan officers who have invited their best partners to be on this call today. I think what you're going to do, Carrie, that what I've seen you talk about in that first meeting is generally how it starts is how it goes. And in relationships, I've heard if you want a great relationship, start slow to go fast rather than if you go fast, it will be slow. And you've got a very methodical process and checklist and list of questions that you ask in a very specific way to do that discovery everybody talks about, to really get to the fears, hopes, and dreams and the capability of a buyer to then show them your process that is going to help them be successful. And what I noticed that you do, Carrie, with this intake questionnaire, with this meeting that's very methodical and taught is number one, it's duplicatable. You've taught it to all of your agents, and agents have this above average success when they come and work on your team. And I don't think it's because these are above average salespeople. I don't think it's because they're above average motivated. See, I believe, you guys, that the people that will be successful in this new post-NAR settlement world are the ones that just follow a process. And it's an intelligent process and it's a strategic process, but they just do the process over and over and over again. And because they're committed to a process that guides people through this and lowers their guard and opens their thinking and exposes their abilities, now you can actually find your real buyers. Now you know how to follow up in a way that closes or moves the ball down the field. And Carrie, if I know anything about you, is that you are a closer. But it's in a very fun, playful, like light way. And it's not because I want your money. It's because you opened your heart with me. You get people to the place where they're crying at the first meeting or they're sharing things with you, Carrie. I've seen it. And you take that trust on and get the results. So how many of you, if I could see your hands, want to learn what Carrie has to teach, which is that incredible first meeting, and then not the cheesy follow-up, but the meaningful follow-up that actually converts? Let's hear it.
Data driven. It's taking like the heart and data and combining them.
Yes, the registration for the link, somebody put it in here, is in the chat. We will be sharing this recording, everybody asked, because I know that there's a lot. Carrie, I took another page of notes too. And I paid Cheplak $2,000 for 20 minutes every week. And I still took a whole page of notes. Look at all of you who are saying, yes, please. Again, please go ahead and register for the event on September 11th. And the great thing about Carrie creating the content for September 11th is that it's a preparation for going deeper at the Reno Path to Wealth event. See, I like to get people in prep work before an event. I don't like to bring them cold because then we can only go that deep. If I can already get you some skills, if we can already get some routines built, if I can already give you some exercises, when you get there, you're ready to work and you're ready to learn. And you're talking to people at the event that are already implementing some of these strategies and saying, ooh, but I did it a little bit this way and I did it that way. So you better believe everybody that registers for the event will get these resources so that you can already start seeing that momentum in your business and the results. Carrie, any final thoughts on the event or John Cheplak or what you want to teach people and those that are succeeding?
I think it's just so important right now to figure out how to give yourself the gift of confidence. Because it's a time when people are feeling insecure and change creates that, but putting yourself in the right rooms, allowing yourself to upgrade your skills and really live into your ability to create value for people and to create an experience and to make them feel so happy with you and where they end up. Like that is, it's just, I have such an emotional connection to the outcome for the client. And when you know you've got everything in alignment to create that, your confidence will soar and you'll be unstoppable. So I hope you guys all join us on September 11th, and then you join us again at the event
in November.
What's the date of it's November?
It's November 13th and 14th. Some of you will choose to come on the VIP day. It's a very limited VIP. It's going to be a dinner. And there's going to be a 3-hour mastermind workshop that you'll get to choose. I'm actually hosting 4 that day. And those are for the VIPs. And then all of my guild team will get access to those mastermind sessions on Tuesday, November 12th. But yes, all the details are in that agenda I sent. Path to Wealth agenda or Path to Wealth tickets will give you all the details that you need. Here's the last thing I will say about your comment, Carrie. I want you guys to be so confident that when you sit down with somebody, you walk in that meeting going, if I don't do a good job today, if I don't listen, and if I don't communicate and articulate how bad I want to help this client, it will be a disservice to them. Like if they choose someone else, I believe it's not going to go as well. I believe that they're not going to get as good of a deal. They're not going to have as smooth of a process. You've got to believe so much in you and your process and your capability that you walk into that meeting going, if I don't deliver, they're the ones that are going to lose out. And when you believe that, because you believe in your process and you believe in your commitment, people will feel it.
Yeah.
And he or she with the most confidence wins. And so how do you get confidence? You show up to stuff like this, you take the questionnaire and you rip off and duplicate it. And you just do it over and over. Even if some of the questions Carrie asks are uncomfortable. Trust me, as loan officers, we have to ask very uncomfortable questions like, what's your social? How much money you got in the bank? How much money do you earn? And it's not fun, but I can't help you if I don't get that information. And the same goes on the real estate side. So hopefully this was a jolt of energy. If you're still here, 100 of you on a scale of 1 to 10, how was this for you? Was this a 10, meaning it was like exactly what I needed? A 9, it was fulfilling. Thank you, Annette, for 100,000. Thank you, Ken, Danielle, Mike. All of us loan officers really love our real estate agents too. Like, we know it's scary. There's a lot of change happening. We've been through that for so many years now with Dodd-Frank and TRID and everything else. And we believe that this will be a non-issue and we can get through this together. And we're willing to work. We're willing to do the work with you. So let's get in there. Thank you for attends across the board. Is there nobody honest on this call? Was there someone who says this is a 9? Anyway, thank you. We'll see you on September 11th. And please get on the website, follow us on social. If you didn't get to go to Path to Wealth agenda or Path to Wealth tickets, I'm sure we'll start posting and getting good stuff out there. So I don't want you to miss out. And we'll see you soon. Thank you, Carrie.
Bye, everybody. See you soon.